Hola y un fuerte abrazo. Today we're going to talk about my 10-month countdown to move from the United States to Mérida, Mexico. So I'm coming up on 10 years from the full-time move. I've been going back and forth for a while, and now we're ramping up to that full-time move. And I thought it might be helpful to some people out there to hear about just the different things I'm doing to prepare for the ultimate move. I started seriously planning to move to Mexico back in 2018, all kind of revolving around turning 50 and taking a look at my life. That should probably be a whole nother video and or happy hour. But anyway, so I started this idea of moving to Mexico back in 2018, and since then, I've made some massive actions and done really big things to make this happen. And I've also just implemented really small things. So some of the tasks have felt like a giant bulldozer moving a heap of dirt, and others have felt like an ant moving a rubber tree plant. Just like this little action here, this little action here, and it all adds up, and it's all working and it's all coming together. Sometimes not how I expected it to, but ultimately I'm meeting the goals, and that has me very pleased. I'm very excited about my next adventure. So what are the things I'm doing in this next 10 months to move to Mérida, Mexico? Well, probably the very biggest one is preparing to hand my business over to my business partners. About 8 years ago, I formed Floating Homes Portland. I sell floating houses here in Oregon, and I brought in a business partner with me. She started out as kind of admin and helping me on the back end, but over the years, she's become an expert right alongside me. She can do everything I can do. She's brilliant, she's better, she's brighter. She's amazing, and I'm so excited to hand this over to her for this time in her life. And then I didn't want to hand it over to her alone because it is a big business. I've built it up. And so I brought in another business partner who's the perfect complement to her, so that when I step back out of this business, the two of them will be very successful. Well, in order to do that in a way that would work for them and, continue on, I took a big pay cut for this year. So instead of making the lion's share, I cut my pay back way. Like I'll bring in 50% less this year than I did last year, because of now there are 3 people in the mix, and that's okay. It's perfectly fine, because having the two of them, this is probably way more information, but oh well, having the two of them is also freeing me up to do what's my priority for this year. Not only building them up, I've completely set aside my ego as far as that business goes. My name's not on anything. I won't be top 500 broker anymore. It's all fine. I don't care. In exchange for that lesser payment and backing away, I'm able to spend time with the people I love that are here in the US before I move to Mexico. Now, it's not that I won't see people, because I will come back and visit, but there are some people in my life that they can't travel anymore or choose not to travel anymore. So I'll be spending more significant time with people that I love. And it's really nice because it's also relieved some of the stress. As you know, I've been a little stressed lately, especially if you saw my video with Jose Arteaga. So that's the biggest thing that's happening this year, and it's coming together very well. I'm just absolutely delighted, and I'm so excited for the two of them to, carry on the legacy. Another thing I'm doing is financial, right? We all have to prepare for the move financially. I've done the big things, right? I sold my big house and I bought a tiny house and I fixed it up. And then I actually sold the tiny house. I currently don't own any real estate in the United States, which is a very odd feeling for me, especially in the business that I'm in, but it's okay. So the financial thing I'm focusing on this year is a really might seem minor, but it takes so much time to do. So every month when I get my credit card statement, I go through my credit card statement and my bank statement, and I look for any of those pesky annual fees that I know that I won't need for my life in Mérida, Mexico. And I've also gone through like my GoDaddy and gotten rid of all the stupid URLs that I bought thinking, oh, I'm going to do this, and I quickly buy a URL, and that's silly. So I'm just double checking everything with that. And I also opened a Mexican bank account last time I was in Mérida, which is not easy to do. It took me 3 different attempts at 3 different banks to open a Mexican bank account. And I think I will do a whole separate video on that because it's not as easy as it might seem, but I'm super happy now with the setup. Another thing I did to prepare for moving to Mérida, Mexico is I've already set up Traveling Mailbox, which is a virtual mailbox. And I'm glad I did. It might seem silly having set it up a year before moving, but I am glad I did because I didn't realize psychologically how weird it would feel to be like, oh, my address is this virtual place. I mean, it's actually bricks and mortar, but it's not even in the same state that I live in. It's called Traveling Mailbox. That's who I chose to use. I am not an affiliate. My friend Brighton is over at Almost Retired in Mexico. So if you really want to support a YouTuber, go over to Brighton's channel and sign up through him. That's actually what I did. So with Traveling Mailbox, it's not super expensive, and I just decided to do it. And I've started using all the features to get used to it. So like open and view, or shred this, or forward. I've used the forwarding features. And I know they have a feature where if I get a old school check in the mail, I can have them deposit it. I haven't done that yet, but I'm going to. And then I will be like a traveling mailbox expert. But I wasn't prepared for kind of the psychological weirdness that it felt to not have the physical address. It was just a little weird. That's all. I don't even know how to describe it. So there you go. Another thing I'm doing to prepare to move to Mérida, Mexico is I'm going to take my birth certificate, have it translated, and then have it notarized and the apostille document created. I don't need it right now. I don't need it for several years from now, but I'm here and I've got 10 months, and somewhere in there I can carve out a day to drive to the state capital, which is Salem, Oregon, and get it taken care of. It's like I'm trying to think of like what little thing can I accomplish this week, or what can I do right now that I might not need, but I also don't want it to sneak up on me. So any little thing like that I'm figuring out. Here's another thing I'm doing. I'm going to write down all of the prescriptions that I take, and on my mid-year trip this year, I'll take them into a pharmacy and just see what they can fill, what needs a prescription, what doesn't need a prescription, and all of that good stuff, as well as check in with my doctors here. I have a couple of them. Let them know, well, they know I'm moving, and just, check in with them, see what I might need to do in that regard. I'm also going through my personal property and continuing to thin out. I thought I thinned out. What the heck? Where does this stuff keep coming from? I don't know. I moved from 2,000 square feet to 550 square feet without a storage unit, and I'm still thinning through stuff. But now it's more fun because I'm giving away things that are meaningful, especially, a couple cool things I gave to my sister at Christmas time. And that is just more meaningful. And because I also live on a floating home now, have for a long time, but I'm still on a floating home, I've got friends up and down the dock, and every now and then I'll hey, Eric, could you use this? Or hey, Monica, I've got this. I'd love to give it to you. A lot of stuff does go to the Goodwill, but things that are meaningful, it's really, it's fun. It's fun to give them away. Makes me feel lighter. This is a big one for preparing to move to Mexico. I am getting moving quotes. I had gone back and forth for years over, am I going to take things with me or not? And I did decide to bring some things with me. I have artwork that's super meaningful. Very little in the way of furniture. Oh, this chair was in my grandma's house. It's not a fancy chair, but it's a comfortable chair, and it was in my grandma's house. I have a lot of lamps, and some of them are family heirlooms, especially my Modeline lamp from my Aunt Mildred. Everybody needs an Aunt Mildred. Oh, I have a lamp from my great-grandma Pearl. Come on, Pearl, Mildred, you got to keep those things. Anyway, I'm going to bite the bullet and pay for moving. So I'm in the process of getting moving quotes. There's Mexico Best Movers with Chuck Bolotin. Very highly recommended. I know lots of people who have used him, so that's one avenue. But then there's also the pods that U-Haul has, and they'll actually do international door-to-door, but I don't know enough about that, so I'm still in research mode. And lastly, the very, very most important thing I am doing before moving to Mérida, Mexico is I'm using this time to spend with people I love. I know I alluded to that in the very beginning, but I'll bookend it here. Yeah, that's just not time you get back. And I have, in the years past, sacrificed so much time with my mom, and she's only a 45-minute drive from here, but I've sacrificed so much time in the name of work, and I'm not doing that anymore. So instead of just rushing my mom to a doctor's appointment, sitting there, I mean, I would sit there in an appointment with her and I'd be on my laptop or answering a text, and all of that's stopped. Now I have time to be present. Yes, I take her to the doctor. I'm taking her tomorrow. I take her to doctor's appointments, but also we have fun days, which in our world consists of maybe going to Denny's for a Grand Slam and then going to the thrift store. But that's how we spend time together. So time with people I love, absolutely priceless. Very much looking forward to getting to Mexico so the people I love can also visit me there. And that's what I'm doing to prepare so far. Thank you for watching. I super appreciate it. Un fuerte abrazo, besitos y cuídate mucho.